what is bossing up? Well, basically, man, taking total responsibility for everything that goes on in your life. Realizing that everything is your fucking fault. Everything. From the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, who you date, who you marry, shit, even how you die. It's all your fault. It's all up to you. If your life is gravy and everything clicking, shit, that's your fault. If everything just miserable, downright crazy, hectic, explosions, shit can't go right, baby mama tripping, yeah, that's your fault, bro. But there's a saving grace to any of this shit, man. And it's bossing up. The concept of bossing up, the mindset of bossing up. What is it? It's a lot of things. It can be your attitude, for one. The attitude of no matter what, the plan that I designed for myself, the schematics, the blueprints that I've laid out will be seen and fulfilled in full, to the letter. The life I have for myself, I will build it brick by brick and bleed and suffer in order to make it happen. Despite critics, despite family, despite my upbringing, despite my ethnic background, none of that stuff matters in the grand scheme of the overall plan. This is the base feeling, the base attitude of bossing up. Then there's the actual work ethic. Like, because bossing up encompasses the work ethic. A lot of Americans claim they have a work ethic. They claim they're pretty motivated. But you see it every day in society, man. They're driven by tweets, what celebrities do, what their favorite entertainer does or says. Like, nobody conceptually has any type of individualism anymore. No type of do-for-self mentality. No teamwork. Like, think about it like this. You have a large family. If you had a business idea right now that can make $1 million, and you had 10,000 family members, and in order to get this business idea off the ground, you needed $100,000. Now, you know 10,000. You have 10,000 family members. You have all of their cell phone numbers. Right now, in your phone, you have 10,000 numbers. Let's just say, hypothetically, you have 10,000 of your family members' numbers, right? You need $100,000 to get this banging ass idea off the ground. It's going to potentially make millions inside of 5 years. You just need $100,000. You know 10,000 family members, right? 10,000. So basically, if everybody gave you $1, that'd be $10,000, right? But obviously you need $100,000. So you need $10 from everybody. And let's say you was going to equally cut everybody in. And you wanted to have a big ass meeting. So you rented out a park. You invited everybody, kind of like on a family reunion type of setup. And you invited 10,000 of your closest blood relatives. And you made a presentation. And you wanted $10 right then and there. Otherwise, they were going to be forever cut out of the deal. How many of you could actually get that $10 from each of them? Like, and be honest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know a few people that would give you more than $10. But the fact of the matter is, you know damn well you wouldn't be able to get $10 each from every person. Not without somebody questioning your motives. Not without somebody saying it was a scam. Not without somebody speaking for the next person's $10. Never mind the fact that they're only putting up their $10. You're only asking for 10 measly dollars. But this person not only would not give you theirs, but they would discourage or try to sway other people from giving you that same $10 to get that idea off the ground. This is where the attitude comes into play. Because bossing up is a team-based thing also. Because it applies to group economics. It applies to, financial dealings, business startups, entrepreneurship, relationships, public relations, politics. All of that plays into the whole concept of bossing up. So people's attitude are fucked up. They'll never even hit step one. So it starts in the mind. Your attitude. Your attitude means a lot. Now, emotions are a good thing when used properly, when used as fuel. Because I know a lot of people get on this hater train, hater this, or, fuck the haters, or, I love my haters. You have some people that are hater lovers and you have some people that are hater haters, But the fact is, your only opponent is self, okay? Your only opponent is self. You have no haters. There is no such thing as a hater. Because first of all, for you to have a hater, you would have to actually give a shit about what the next person thought of you to even use that as fuel. So let's just say you're the hater lover. You love haters, right? You love making people cringe, and you're one of those people that get off on having like a million haters and people talking bad about you. You use that as fuel, right? Let me ask you this. What happens when that fuel goes away? What happens when people just flat out stop caring about what you do? They stop talking about you. They stop hovering around like vultures. They stop even doing the vulture thing. They just stop it. They stop circling you. They say, you know what, forget him, or forget her. We're gonna let them be. I'm not even gonna give them my energy. I got other shit I got going on. What happens to all your fuel? What happened to all your gas? You're gonna burn out real quick without those haters, aren't you? So you gotta get off of that hater shit. You gotta get off of that mindset of, I need haters. I need people not to like me. I need people to, or I need people to gas me up. You don't need none of that. You have to be able to run on your own fuel. Because you have an unlimited supply. This is what they don't teach you. You have an unlimited supply of motivation, an unlimited supply of imagination, inspiration. It's unlimited. It's all God-given. It's unlimited. You don't even remember how you got here. You just remember waking up and you were here. That's how cool it is to be human. You don't remember being conceived. Nobody does. But yet everybody reproduces. Everybody has sex. Nobody remembers the day they was conceived and showed up. Think about it. How many humans is it? Can we actually trace back to the first human? Have we found the bones? Have we, think about nobody ever thinks about that. That's how cool this shit is. You don't need anybody to gas you up. You don't need anybody to hate on you. Your only opponent is self. Next point. As far as boss up concepts go, is sticking to your own plan, despite what you yourself will say. Because self-talk is worse than any hater. Self-talk is worse than any sibling criticism, family criticism, society, based criticism. Self-talk is can be the most debilitating thing, most crippling thing that a human can go through is negative self-talk. So first and foremost, you got to get out of your own head as far as negative shit goes. Either it's going to work or it's not. And if it's not, you got to be realistic about it and only pursue realistic things that are realistic to you. This is why you got to get out of that whole following other people and following trends. Like, set your own trend. Be your own trendsetter. Do something because you think it's cool. And really go there with yourself. Like, man, like, I want to do this. Conceptually, I think this can work. Conceptually, I want to do this. I really want to bring this to the world. I want to bring this out to the light. Nobody's ever did this before. Nobody has ever, showed this yet. I want to be the one to do it. So do it. But if you're going to do it, do that shit 100%. Don't ever self-talk your way into oblivion by being negative in an empty room. You're the only one in the room and you being negative. That's insanity. And that's not bossing up. Because a real boss is in charge of he's in charge of their life. You are in charge of your life. Everything is your fault. Everything is your fault. Understand that. If your life is going good, shit, I mean, it's gravy. It's your fault, right? You're not gonna say anything negative. You're not gonna give credit to somebody else if your life is going good. So the same thing got to be on the flip side. If it's fucked up, you got to own that. It got to be your fault too. Everything is your fault. Your only opponent is self. Everything is your fault. No negative self-talk. It's all positive. And it's real. Either it's going to work or it's not. And you got to be real enough to, be honest with yourself. Next on the list, as far as bossing up, you got to really know that one day you're going to die. Like, death is the only certainty. So being that you know this, being that you know death is a certainty, then you really have nothing to fear. You should be fearless in your pursuits. Because death is the only thing that you're guaranteed. So everything else is a gamble. Everything's a gamble. Everything's chance. So if you don't take, literally, quote unquote, take a chance, then basically your shit gonna get taken from you and you're gonna end up playing in somebody else's game. I.e., working at a dead-end job that you can't stand for a boss that you hate. Somebody that did take initiative and decided, you know what, I'm going to be manager of this store. I'm not going to be no regular box boy. I'm going to be telling the box boy what to do. And then here you are, the box boy, getting mad at the motherfucker that took the initiative to actually, he actually was honest with himself and say, you know what, I think I can run this place. And now he's running it. And you don't want him to be in charge, or you don't want her to be in charge, but yet you don't want to step up and take their shit from them. You don't even want to be there, first of all. So you can't, but at the same time, you mad because they're telling you what to do. Well, you don't have to be there. Maybe you should be, chefing up something in the kitchen, Maybe you know how to bake your ass off. Maybe you're like a natural born culinary chef, but you have no formal training. Maybe you need to get up off your lazy ass, take some of those minimum wage checks, start squirreling them away instead of tricking off your money on the weekends. Save up for a couple of years, take your ass to school and actually get some really dope training. Write a cookbook, go on the internet, start posting videos of you chefing up some shit that only you can chef up, and turn it and flip that shit into a cooking show. It's not hard, but it is. It's not hard, but it is. If you're a D-boy, you should have an exit strategy. Otherwise you bossing up your way, and you just bossing up so you can lay down. And that's not how we build. That's not the concept of building. Building is an acronym. Boss up instead of laying down. That's the acronym for build. That's what we do around here. We build. We boss up and we build. We do not lay down. You hustling backwards. If you don't have an exit plan and you're not trying to turn your dirty money into clean money so that you don't have to keep looking over your shoulder, or that you don't have to dodge police or dodge jail or dodge the cemetery or dodge the court system, then you hustling backwards. If you're doing anything that's just open-ended and you don't have any type of exclamation point on the end of your fucking sentence, then you are hustling backwards. And you should literally stop hustling and sit down and write an actual plan out. Like, I've met people, even myself, tens of thousands of dollars, mattress money, shoebox money. By the grace of God, I was able to actually have a lot of mentors to steer me straight and to get me on the right path, thinking like an actual boss thinks, as opposed to, a petty hustler. If you hustling, that's a big difference between a boss and a hustler. A hustler works for the boss. He's a mule. He's a slave. The boss calls shots. He sleeps easy. He eats good all the time. He never looks over his shoulder. Because when you're on top, ain't nobody above you when you're on top. If you're not fighting for the top, and when I say top, I mean actually being comfortable, safe, secure, making sure your family's safe and secure. If you're not fighting for that, then you fighting for nothing. You fighting for absolutely nothing. You just fighting for popularity. Or maybe you fighting for vanity. Or maybe you fighting for, for worship. You want to be worshipped. Or maybe you want to be feared. I don't know. But you're definitely not doing it for some cool reasons. So you might want to think about that shit. This is the intro. We just getting started.